Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Modest3D's webinar. Today's Wednesday, April 15th, 3 p.m. in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to our introductory webinar to Modest3D Xplorer. I'd like to first introduce you to my colleague Hamza. He's going to be joining us in the live chat room on YouTube to answer any of your questions live. So feel free to ask any questions as they arise anytime you want. You don't have to wait for a question and answer period. Just simply ask a question and we'll get back to you. I'd like to give you a quick overview of what we're going to be doing today. This should take no longer than 45 minutes to an hour. I want to first start by showing Explorer an environment that was created in Explorer, a trade show, a auditorium, then moving on to a live site. And then after this, we're going to take you back into the Explorer editing version to show you the actual project and how it came to life. And so we'll interact with it and do some features on the fly to show you how quickly you can develop in Explorer. Okay, so first I wanted to go over Explorer program. So this is our overview page, of course. Here you'll have your standard create, join, or your settings page. So we'll just jump right in here. So just a quick background about Explorer, what it does. So Explorer is a rapid content development tool to create presentations for use in computer-based presenting or training. Also has the ability to publish to virtual reality, augmented reality in the same seamless creation process. So feel free also that my colleague can post a link to the software where to register. If you're interested, you can register for the software, download it. Towards the end of the project, we can run a live environment where we can invite the users. So users from our live chat, the people who are joining us right now for the webinar, you can join us and participate towards the end. So welcome to the Modest3 showroom. So of course, it's a 3D environment that can publish into VR or AR. The idea behind this is this will act as a 3D menu for us to access all our different information. So for example, if this is an active trade show, here you have some vendors, GE, Rank, Atlantic Aerospace and Defense, Alcoa, and of course Modest3. And the idea is you'd be able to come to this room in a multi-user environment and a multi-platform environment. So you'll have the ability to join in, whether you're a PC user, virtual reality, augmented reality, mobile device, tablet, it doesn't matter. Just log on and join and collaborate with your team members. You'll see down towards the end when we invite everyone here, you'll see that this screen can be populated with a lot of users to interact, collaborate with each other. Now for this environment here, after we investigate it, let's say we meet with our colleagues, we meet with them, we want to go to our private room to do a private demonstration. Let's say I went to these guys here, Rank. They're a gearbox manufacturer out of Augsburg, Germany. So let's say I met with one of their colleagues, and now we can initiate a private conversation or a private demonstration room. So I'll load that right now. Bear with us, it's going to load a little bit. Now again, it's a good time to know that feel free to join us in the chat to ask any questions for clarification. And of course, there should be a link to join us towards the end to register for the software and download. So welcome to the auditorium. The idea is this is meant to be, of course, like a standard auditorium, invite many guests to come check out the product demonstration. Now, of course, on the page, we have our PowerPoint style presentation, where there's your different slides with your information about your product. Now, of course, video can be embedded. And take it a step further, there's you can't say product demonstration without the actual product. So in this case here, it's a turbine engine that we want to show off to the client. And of course, in your right-hand menu here, you have a menu of quick authoring tools. So in this case here, interacting is what I'm doing right now currently, which is I'm holding my right mouse button and then using the WASD keys to navigate the environment and fly around the theme. Grab simply means if I can select it, I can grab items and remove them to tear things apart, tear them down, show different features. Draw simply means if I focus on an object, I can draw arrows to highlight pieces. So this is a multi-user environment or distant learning environment where I could be in the East Coast and there could be a class in the West Coast, or even let's go further. I could be in Canada, there's another group that I'm teaching in Europe, another group in the Middle East. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a Wi-Fi signal on the internet, you can connect everyone together. And to stay on some of the instruction tools, of course, here we have also free draw. Gives the ability to quickly draw on information, give some dimension or spec, whatever the case may be, to be able to highlight your points. Beacon and group teleport, we'll get into them more once we actually have users joining in the environment, because they're meant to get the attention of a large group, or as the word group teleports suggests, you're going to force move everyone to a specific place where you want to highlight your features. Now, of course, I can also populate my business card and be able to hand it out. So the idea is to initiate a private meeting or a private conversation. We have a handshake feature where you would handshake another user online, and immediately that will engage in a private conversation for you to discuss your business. Now, some features that come natively inside Explorer, of course, are an X-ray feature, where you don't have to do any fancy coding. Just simply select the pieces you want and apply an X-ray to them on the fly to be able to show internal components, or just simply spread the knowledge base we're trying to do to explain what are the internals, how the internals work, and all that fun stuff. Now, of course, you can also color code your components. So to show your cooling system versus your heating system, electrical system versus hydraulic. Whatever the case may be you're trying to illustrate or highlight, it can be done in here. And you'll also see that we have 3D labels. These are simply initiated by selecting an object and just giving it the ability or toggling on a 3D label. And we will do that once we get into the actual editing version of the Explorer. We'll show you how to create these features really, really quickly. And here we have our expand algorithm. Now, expand can be quite tedious if you're doing it manually, but in Explorer we gave you an automatic algorithm with so many different options to switch the type of algorithm, where it roots from. Because initially, really what determines a decent or a desired expand is the 3D model and how it was developed. Whether the pivot point is in the center, it's on the outside, how are objects oriented to each other, and so on. All this will play a factor into your expand algorithm, and because not all models are built in a single, a universal standard, then we have to come up with different expanding algorithms to give more desired effects. And we'll show that live in the actual editing tool to show you how you would take advantage of this algorithm really quickly. So we can also separate by groups in the object menu. And we're back to the beginning of the presentation. So now the really interesting part is, of course, a lot of people will be aware that today's business climate, due to COVID-19, we've had a lot of global trade shows canceled, events, trade missions, all canceled. So the way we see it is we want to follow the chronological order of meeting with the client in the trade show floor, meeting them, introducing, having a quick conversation, invite them back to your private room, the auditorium, where you would actually do your product demonstration in detail in private, and then let's say we finish it off with a site walkthrough. So not only did you meet the client in the trade show, not only did you take a private demonstration with them, now we can actually go to their facility and have a walkthrough. And here we're going to leverage 360 video recordings to be able to have a live field. So it's not just a rendering or an image, it's the actual 360 recording of a real facility. In this case here, being a naval boat launch. And for the users that decide to join us towards the end of the presentation, to actually join us in a live environment, again, we can experience each other in here and see interact with each other. Now again, for the people that are interested in joining us, you're not limited to what you can join us with. Simply log on. Whether you have a mobile device, doesn't matter if it's iPhone or Android, doesn't matter if you have a PC, whatever equipment you have, jump in on that link, download the software, register, and they will be able to launch this collaborative environment with you. You can experience it yourself. Okay, let me just close down our friend here. And now let's jump into our portal. And let's take this time again to remind you guys that please join us, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask inside the live chat room. So welcome to Modest3D Portal. I'm not going to go too much into Portal because we want to focus for this webinar on Explorer, but Portal acts as a project management and a project sharing application. So from within here, I can launch, create the project, using Explorer, and then share that within my entire network globally if need be. In this case here, we'll just jump really quickly into one of my projects. In this case here, let's go for the Explorer Showcase. Select on that. Let's go for the features portion of the demonstration, and we'll just jump in right to the edit portion. And here I'm actually going to launch the editing version of Explorer, or the content creation version of it. Takes a minute to load. And welcome. Now we are inside the Modest3D environment. So I can navigate again inside the environment by simply hitting the right mouse button, holding that down. That'll give me the ability to drag my mouse around and look around the environment. Using WASD, we'll navigate front, back, left, and right. Using that with the direction, I can navigate the environment quite quickly. Now let's start really quick, giving you an overview of this product. In the top, you see our quick to use ribbon. From the left, you have your undo and redo, the most famous features of any software. Advanced simply toggles on, and advanced or basic camera, depending on what you're more comfortable with. If you're a basic user, then usually I'd recommend using basic. This gives the ability to navigate the entire scene only using your mouse. So the right click being the pan, left click being rotate, and the wheel zooms you in and out. And of course, I'll use advanced just because I'm more comfortable in this environment. Next, moving right along, you have you'll notice that the name here is new state, reset state, delete state, duplicate state. On the left side, you'll see that we have these slides. This should be familiar to many of you. It's a quick usability or easy to use tool. The reason why we call it state, because you're actually not changing the model, manipulating the model, you're just switching the current state that's in. So the state could either be a location of certain components, or whether it's X-rayed, whether it has a feature, a color feature effect to it, whatever the case may be. We're just swapping states, and it will hold the position for us. So those are quite straightforward. On the right of that, you'll see you have your hide all but selected object. You have your toggle visibility of the selected object, and you have a focus. On the right of that, you have your remove effects. So whether I added X-ray or color effects to components, I can remove that by simply remove all effects. And of course, highlight is self-explanatory. Any object I select with a highlight will highlight it permanently. X-ray or X-ray component. Okay, seem to be facing some Was it muted the whole time?
No.
Okay, that'll work.
Fine. Don't worry about it.
Hello, sorry about that. I just realized that I wasn't streaming the correct page. So let me just go over overview of Explorer really quick once again. So once this updates, you should see Explorer homepage right here. In the top menu, as I mentioned, you have your undo and redo buttons. Advanced camera for switching and toggling advanced versus basic. In your right here, you'll see your new state, reset state, delete state, duplicate state. On the right of that, you see your hide all but selected, hide selected object, and then focus on object that you select. To the right of this, you have your effects, X-ray, color, and highlight. And to undo them, simply click on the remove all effects. And to the right of that, you see your hit point and your label, and we'll get into that once we actually start creating. So without any further ado, let's create a new state here. Let's call it start. And you'll notice that the model went to its default position. So in this case here, to start really quickly, if I want to create a new slide, simply from here, I would duplicate. I say second. And now I can create a unison. So if my first slide is stationary, second one, maybe I can remove a component. Animate a component. And let's say we X-ray a door and color code the other door. So now from one slide to one slide, I just created a bunch of different features really quickly. I hid an object, X-rayed another object, colored an object, and animated another object. Now this can happen really quickly on the fly, so let's do that again, but this time let's add more functionality, so let's call this one third. So here we'll just clear the effects. We won't worry about the door too much. Now over here I can add my labels as told before. Drag the label up. And in my properties menu, everything I do, I can interact with my properties menu. So in this case here, I'll zoom down to where it says font size. I'll switch it to 200 so we can see it. And let's change the text color to something we can see. So now you can see that quickly. I can give this a door, I can give it a 3D label. Or I can generate a hit point. Now what a hit point will do, very simply, it'll activate an interaction point. So if I click on this hit point, it will activate another model. So in this case here, if I click on the hit point and I move into my action, I can create an action type. Now action type can display a video, an image, a question, play an audio, or even change a lesson. So by simply selecting the hit point, giving it an action, and then dragging the asset to it. So in this case here, I chose display an image. So I can go into my assets, find an image, and I can just drop that right into it. And now the idea is once I play this lesson, if I click on this hit point, it will activate that image. And this can be also for video or an animation. It doesn't really matter on our end. That being said, now within Explorer you have these different modes and functionality. So the free mode is what I'm currently using. I can navigate the entire environment freely. Animate mode, if you have built-in animations that are already built in the model, you'll be able to run them inside Explorer. So in this case here, I see you have wheel turn left, trunk, rear right door, front door, and so on, and hood. Or I can say all doors. So let's just, for quick, let's see what all doors does. I have the option to play once, loop, or ping pong. So I'll just play it once, and at what speed I want to play it. Let's leave it normal. So in this case here now, I can hit play animation preview, and it will show me what the animation will look like. Or I can also drag it out with my slider a little bit at a time just to see the desired effect I want. Now also in the expand here, you'll see that we have an expand menu. Now this is interesting because it makes that expand view or that explosion view much simpler to build. So in this case here, all I have to do is go into my 3D model, into my scene hierarchy, expand that, find where my model is, there it is right here. So in this case here, if I just select on the model, you'll notice that by clicking, it doesn't select everything. But if I hold the Alt and then select my root, it will select all the children underneath it. Now in this case here, I can simply drag that whole scene right into my root. And by activating the slider a little bit, you start seeing the expansion view start taking place. Now because I'm not sure about this model, I'm not sure who modeled it and how they oriented components, I will slide this slider a little bit forward, and then I can swap through my different algorithms right here to give me the desired effect that I'm looking for. And now you can inspect all the different components. So if this is for education purposes, of course, you can expand the component, whether it's a mechanical system, a biological system like a human body with a different, digestive tract, all the other all other bodies systems can be all explained and separated piece by piece to really help explain how they operate and work. And again, this goes same thing for mechanical systems. Everything can be separated to really get that understanding of how things are put together. Now again, like this takes a moment because we're getting closer towards the end, and I would love to invite some of you guys for our online demonstration. So please, if you have any interest in joining us for the live demo, type in the live chat, let us know you want to join, and we can send you, we can add your name to the invitation list. Now the really cool thing about this is here, I want to show you one cool feature before we move along. So to create the difference between a computer-based presentation versus a VR presentation, all it takes is just simply manipulating the camera. So if this is computer-based, I will simply put the camera to the direction I want, and I'll switch my slide. And notice how the slide automatically updates the position. That right there set the position of the camera for my presentation. But let's say this was a virtual reality presentation and I want the ability for the interactor to be able to teleport to different locations. So here, under the teleport or VR option in my properties, if I toggle the teleport, it's going to activate this little halo. It's hidden behind you, so let me see if I can move it. So now in this environment, once the student inside VR pushes and holds the teleport button, they will get a blue halo on the ground, or a yellow halo. That halo will activate as the slide initiator. So to switch from slide 4 to 5, all the student has to do, or the person inside the environment, is teleport to that specific location. That will activate that slide to show the features inside it. Now that being said, I'll just do a quick play here to show you what this presentation would look like on the player version of it, or on the play view of it. And you'll see how the hit points and the 3D labels all interact together with the animations that are built in. So here we just simply start in our 3D environment. By me hitting next, it will activate the camera switch. So this is right now focused on a computer-based presentation. I swap again. And now we get the 3D model. Now within the 3D model, notice how there's these 3D hit markers on them. So if I hit this one here, I can activate all the animation of the doors. If I hit the T one, it'll activate isolation views. So the idea is you can see how quickly you can start creating content in this tool on the fly. Okay, that being said, I believe we have some users that want to join us, so let me just get out of here and I will see you guys in our 3D environment. Just bear with me. Perfect. All right, so let me just really quickly here start creating this room. Let me just check with my colleague if there's any people who want to join us.
One person, Jenna Tuck, would like to join.
Jenna Tuck. Great, so I hear that Jenna wants to join us. Let me see if I can find her here. If I can't, then that means I gotta share the project with her in Portal. Yeah, let me see if the Portal. I'll just really quickly here add Jenna. This is the one. So bear with us here while we invite Jenna to the project. You can actually join us in this environment. Yeah, I see Jenna Tuck right here. Any other users want to join us? Or is it just Miss Jenna?
And Laura.
Laura. Miss Laura. There you go. So we have two of our friends here, Jenna and Laura. Now, once I launch this, you should get a prompt to download this project if you haven't already. You'll have to be logged into Explorer. You'll see a red notification in your middle tab, and then that will know that will identify for you need to either download or join the environment if you've already downloaded it. Now, once our friends get those invitations, we'll see them populate right here through the main default entrance. We'll just wait for them here. Once they join us, then we can continue. So just bear a minute. And feel free to let us know, Laura and Jenna, what's your stat. Oh, never mind. I see Laura here. So we're just waiting on our friend Jenna. Jenna, let us know if you have any issues getting online, and then we can help and give you some support. Feel free to check out the trade show floor there, Miss Laura.
Still downloading the lesson.
Hmm?
Just downloading the lesson.
Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah, it takes a little bit to download that lesson. This lesson has 3 scenes in it, so it should take a few minutes there, Jenna. We'll wait for you. I promise we will not move along. But while we're here, I'll just give you a quick couple of changes. Now that you logged on to a multiplayer environment, there's a few little extra features here that we can leverage and use. One, you'll see in the top right menu, or the top right of the screen, you see this big speaker button. Because this is a live environment with 3D, with multiple users inside this environment, if everybody can speak at the same time, it can get loud really quickly in this room, and the noise, traffic really starts, bumping against everybody else. So in this case here, this push to speak button simply is exactly what it says. You're always on mute unless you push that button. Now you can speak. So let's do a quick test here. But we'll wait for Jenna to come in here. Once I push this button and say hello, they should be able to hear me through their logged on devices, whether it's a PC or a mobile device. Also, a couple of features here that are focused just primarily for multiplayer. One being the beacon. So now let's say Laura or Jenna are all the way far over there, and I'm trying to bring them somewhere closer to this booth right here. Simply click on it. I get a little flag with a nice bright sunshine come out of it, and now my colleagues can see where I'm trying to bring their attention to. Also, that being said, let's say I have a group of friends and I'm trying to get them to focus around a certain place. Whether it's for a morning meeting, whether it's for a collaborative approach, or you just I want to simply get them to focus or come to a location of my choosing. In this case here, I'll use my group teleport. I have 3 options here. I can either teleport them and line them up, my colleagues, in a straight line. I can have them circle around a point of interest, or kind of gather around in an arc. So in this case here, we'll just use one right now quickly. So the yellow line is where my guest will be standing. That white flag is where they're going to be looking. So once I activate that, you'll notice that my colleague, or my friend here, Laura, populated immediately this environment. Hello, Laura, can you hear us? So notice right here, there's some videos playing in the background. So this 3D, trade show or trade show floor, don't think about it just as a trade show. This model acts as a 3D menu for you to select and navigate to where you want to go. This could easily become a a 3D or digital college, an academy, training center, a trade show floor where you meet with people. So don't it's not important to only get stuck up that it's only trade show related. This could easily become focused for education and distant learning. The functionality is the same. It's just a matter of using them in a different sequence. While we're waiting, I'd like to remind anyone again inside our chat room, if they want to join us, please let us know. It's not too late. We can always invite people on the fly. from this menu right here. So, who?
More.
Mike? Moro. Alright, so we'll invite one more user here. Does anyone else speak now or forever hold your peace? How you making out, Jenna? So working for you fine, or do you need some extra support on our end? Oh, let me get rid of my beacon over here. Oh, I see another user here. That's Laura. I saw somebody fly by me. There we go. Hello. Hello. So you'll notice that myself and other users are little round drones. Now, this is just an avatar that's currently a placeholder. We are working on a new feature where you can customize the avatars from a pre-selected menu, or up to the ability to import your own custom avatar. So this could be a a more business dressed avatar, humanoid. It could be a team uniform, whatever the case may be. Whatever any reason why you'd want your own custom avatar. Now, if you do want a cool avatar like the Hulk or Captain America, that will be extra. And nothing to really focus on. Explorer was born from feedback from our clients and our end users. It was never meant to be this type of tool, but it easily got shaped into this by the positive feedback. So, if there are any features that are important to your specific industry, or features that you believe will be useful to be included into the product, please let us know. Comment in the live chat, and if it's something that falls within our design scope, absolutely, you just might see it be implemented. I mean, this push to speak button wasn't here 2 weeks ago. Now it was here because, of course, some of our clients made some input about it being too noisy inside the floor, so they wanted to isolate the audios, and we came up with this solution to help with that. I believe we are still waiting for one more person, Jenna, before we can swap to the next environment. Now, also inside my lobby, you'll see that I have some controls here. Here I can mute any of the users I want. Of course, I can also eliminate, maybe I have a troublemaker here. I can get rid of them from the room. But more importantly, I can also make presenter to any of my colleagues here or my friends. So let's say, for example, I'm doing a presentation about a specific piece of equipment that's a very specialty tool or a specialty piece of equipment. And I'm not the specialist on it, but I am the presenter, and I'm the person that my client is familiar with. So I can come in here with a few of my team members, present to them. We have our discussions, but then when it comes time for to let the specialists take over and let the specialists do what they do and explain what they know best, I simply select a presenter, and that will pass the presenter role to my colleague, where then they will be the center of attention, and they'll be the ones to control the side menu tools here. and they'll be able to control who speaks, who doesn't, and they'll be the ones running the show. I still see Jenna hasn't joined us yet. Everything working out fine your end, Jenna, or is there some issues? So our users, you'll notice how the floor is glowing red every once in a while. So our users also, or the guests, also have the ability to use this laser pointer. And simply anything that they select on, they'll be able to turn red to bring my attention, the presenter, towards it. So let's say, just as example, maybe they have a question about something here. Select on it, and then I would see it red, and I'll be able to say, okay, cool. So who has a question about this? And we go from there. Still not too late. If you have any more users that want to join us right now live, just say so and we'll send the invite your way. Okay, we'll wait another couple minutes for Jenna, and then we'll jump to the second room from here. Now, it's interesting that when I jump from this room to my second environment, my guests that I invited will automatically be teleported to that room with me. They'll join me in that room. So I'm leading the presentation. I can take them from scene to scene to scene to explain different features or different equipment that we're trying to offer. And of course, videos, images, audio files, frequently asked questions, all can be embedded into Explorer and populated in a simple click. And there's no industry-specific functionality. This is made to be broad to tender to any industry. Explorer is currently being used by defense industries, by aviation, marine industries, oil and gas, and medical and healthcare. So it's a wide, a wide series of features that really support a lot of different industries to highlight their equipment, to collaborate inside a 3D environment, to get teams to continue their conversations while getting the ability to have a product demonstration remotely. So you don't have to, of course, be there. Everybody can just join in digitally to have that experience. Yes. Okay, now we'll join into the auditorium. So you'll notice my friends here, Laura and Moreau. They'll join us once I switch lessons. So here I'll just go to my lessons, auditorium, launch. They should get the same screen I'm getting, a loading auditorium lesson screen. And once that's done successfully, we'll see each other inside the auditorium to continue the presentation. So now I've made it here as the main presenter. Let's see if my guests made it. There's Moreau. Anyone else? We're waiting for Miss Laura. And there's Laura. Hello, Laura. And of course, inside this environment, I'd like to start the conversation by introducing you guys to myself and giving you my business card. And of course, this is not me. And in here, I can start swapping my presentation. And have my colleagues or my friends join along. And of course we get to the 3D model that we all want to check out. So in this case here, let's check this out real quickly. So there's our 3D model. My guests there can check it out from any angle they want. They don't have to wait for me. But that being said, let's say maybe they're a little bit shy. I want to bring them closer. Let's do a group teleport around this point. And I'll send them here. Oh, we have another user. There's Jenna. Hello, Jenna. Let me also invite more users. Might like Sam or Sam B. There it is. Another user right here. So now you can start quickly seeing our team starting to join us from different areas. I know that I believe Laura and Moreau are here in Nova Scotia, Canada, and Jenna, you can just let us know. I know you're in the United States. I'm just not sure where. I apologize. But you can see how remotely we can bring people together around a 3D environment focused around a specific 3D object. Now, I know here it's just a turbine engine for aviation, but this could be a model of literally anything. There is no limitation, only your imagination puts the limits on you.
Florida.
Florida. I bet the weather there is great. Currently, we're raining and it's perfect duck weather outside. Everybody's always jealous of the weather in Florida. So here again, I can select my object. Let's say I want to draw on it a maybe tell my guys, hey, this is the direction of rotation. You know, this thing is roughly 2 meters long. So now as I'm drawing, they're seeing my notes on the fly. Maybe they're flying around too much that I'm trying to get everybody's attention to one location. So I'll teleport them again here so they all focus on what I'm trying to tell them, which is here, guys, I need you all to focus around this turbine. So here, everybody line up here. This is the cool stuff here, guys. Check out this turbine. Check out my fancy notes. And as always, I can separate and constantly keep going through my presentation without any missed spots. Now, of course, if I'm in virtual reality, you'll see my avatar differently. I will be a human torso with movable hands to be my main point of interaction. If I'm on a computer or mobile device, will be this little avatar. But all those avatars can be replaced and changed. I see someone here highlighting this component, and I can tell them, oh yeah, this thing does that, and you know, it kicks out heat from here, and through this turbine, it brings into, you know, and go through my presentation about what this equipment does. So the good thing about being able to invite multiple users, or even invite while you're inside an environment, let's say we're all team members here, we're all collaborating about this turbine engine, and we all have a question, you know, our limited knowledge, maybe we're all just sales and marketing team, but we're trying to bring someone from our team that's in the training department or in the manufacturing or engineering. Simply invite them to our environment, they would join us in here, and together we can collaborate in this interactive scene to see how we can better solve our issues. And from here on the fly, I can switch us to our final scene and take us all to a live walkthrough of our Navy facility. Now this again is super simple to create, just a matter of creating a 3D video recording of the environment and importing it straight into Xplorer. So all my guests should see a loading screen, and if everything works correctly, I'll see you on the other side. I'm here now. I'm seeing my guests are here. There's one. I see Jenna and Nero. So feel free to check out the environment. Now here, because this is a 360 recording, if you look down, you're going to see a little small spot we left for you to know where your center is. But in reality, this environment is taking the place of the skybox. So if I try to find one end, I will travel forever without getting there. It's just, it goes for infinite. So it could be a quite large environment. No worries about that at all. So whether it's for trade missions, whether I'm trying to do a site walkthrough with one of my clients to show them what my facility looks like and what my facility can do, there is no real one problem or one area where Explorer supports. So we find it being used extensively in training, in marketing, in sales, in collaboration with teams. Whether the focus is marketing, sales, or education, it doesn't matter. To us, it's an environment where you can quickly create the content and create your vision to leverage in VR, AR, or in computer. Now again, I'm currently using my microphone as the main speaker for the stream, but all my guests, if we were just on our own environment at the stream, I could hit this button here, communicate with them audio-wise, and they'll be able to hit that button back and we can communicate with each other. With that being said, let's have our question period now. If there's any questions that you want us to go over, feel free to ask. We're available. I would love to support you on your initiatives. And the good thing about it, again, of course, it's you can repeat this entire process again. So you've met someone or one of your colleagues, a prospect at the trade show floor. You've had your initial conversations, you invited them back to your private auditorium where you showed them your product demonstration and its functionality and features, and then you ended it off with the shipyard walkthrough of your facility. Now, again, you can repeat the entire process by simply going back to a trade show, re-collaborating with more of your colleagues or your prospects, and repeating that process again. Trade show, private demonstration room, site walkthrough. Repeat over and over. So that video is going to load again. It's on a loop. Take a second to load, and then it should populate again from the beginning of the boat launch. Okay, with this being said, thank you guys for joining us. I want to remind you again, feel free to register, download the software for the next few months to help out with the COVID-19. We're going to be offering the software for 100% free to use and collaborate with the team members. Just log on, download, and re-collaborate with your team members and reconnect with people. That being said, thank you guys for joining us very, very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't learned something, I would hope at least you were a little bit entertained. Thank you again. Please, if you like this video, like the stream, we'd really appreciate that. Check us out on Facebook and LinkedIn, all our social media. Check them out. Feel free to look at it. If there's anything of interest to you, feel free to reach out to us. Our guys are waiting to hear from you. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate your time. Look forward to our future demonstrations. And until then, have a great day and happy quarantining.